Good morning, Grace. How are you?
Mo- Morning, sir. I'm good. Ready?
Check, check. 1, 2. I am ready, Grace, as best as I'll be. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Let's do it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you all. Put TGIF in the chat. Put TGIF in the chat. Let me just tell you, I've had a lot of people tell me today already, not even 7:30 Central, 8:30 East Coast. I'm so good with time now. So good with time. I already got many people tell me, thank God it's Friday. So maybe you're having that type of week. So put TGIF for those people who really need it. Today's show, it's going to be on the road. It's going to be on the road today while I travel. And I like to say that I'm traveling to the beach. I like to tell you that I'm going on some vacation destination. But Dennis, I'm not. I'm dropping off my kids from school and I'm running around. I got two dogs with me, and it's just a fun day that we got going on over here. So that's why we're doing it from the roads, because we're multitasking. We're figuring it out on this Figure It Out Friday, right, Bethany? What up, Chet? Good morning, Chet. Look at all those books Chet read. I bet he's read 100% of those books back there. I know it. I know it. So good morning, everybody. Danny, the scientist, the science. I just love that hat. I think I'm going to buy one of those hats, and I'm going to wear one of those too. That's what I'm going to do. Good morning to you, Dennis. What up, Tanya? How are you? Tim's in the house. Good morning to you, Tim. Good morning to you. Rachel, good morning to you. Sarah's always on the West Coast. Wendy's got our Florida taken care of. John Hart, what up, John? Jesse, I heard you've been doing some good role plays, Jesse. I heard you've been doing some good role plays with D. D's was telling me all about it. So good stuff over there. What up, David? Morning to you all. Good morning. So, guys, happy Figured Out Friday. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, a DAD to two kids and two hairy furball four-legged dogs. And it's I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Wendy is going with girls to the beach for St. Patty's Day at the beach. She's having a girls' weekend, and I don't have my kids. Do you understand all the last time this took place? I don't. I don't know when the last time this took place, and I'm gonna really enjoy a little bit of it because I can watch whatever I want to watch. I can get up. I can go to bed. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. I think it only happens like every time down south they have like the king tide comes in. That's about as much time as I get. The only thing I do have are two dogs I got to watch, Christian. Other than that, I'm okay. As you can see, Leo wants to take the stage here. Leo's trying to, I have no idea why. They just get so infatuated by it, just like they want to get in the driver's seat. So, luckily for safe driving, I am in my subdivision, so I'm safe. Okay. I know Chet gets nervous when I drive a little recklessly. He's told me about it several times. I'm Chet. I got it under control. I'm driving here. Enough, everybody. So, good morning to everybody. Thank you guys so very much for being on here today. I'm very excited about our Figured Out Friday guest. Our Figured Out Friday guest comes from Amanda Ashton, the Gary Ashton in that group when I was down in Nashville. She's over in Tennessee in the Nashville area. And Amanda reached out to me. She's like, Brock, you need to talk to my friend Jen. I was like, all right, I'll talk to your friend Jen. I'll have a conversation with her. And just like anybody who brings people in shares with me, amazing people. Chat just did one, shared with me this girl Deborah, who's going to be one of our guests on our show. I was just like listening to Jen's story, Jared. And I was like, yep, you need to be on the show because you have a story and you are going to help somebody out. And just like, well, not just, I'm very blessed and thankful that so many of you connect me with amazing people like this and then to bring them on the show. And when I was listening to Jen, I was just like, damn, holy smokes, wow, that's crazy. And so when you listen to her story all today, as you hear many people, they just, it triggers things inside their head. And I tell them it's in front of a live audience. So wherever God leads the direction, feel free to go into it on it. And so she's a powerful woman, overcame a lot of adversity, and a mom, businesswoman, and just having like to go through a lot of shit. Let's just call it how it is to continue to grow and go in the direction that she is. And so I'm not going to steal all her thunder, but I'm going to ask even Danny, the scientist over there, everybody go to your phone, put a 5 in the chat, put some heart emojis in the chat, and let's welcome our guest, Miss Jen, to the show. Good morning, Jen. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Just another day in paradise, except it's Friday, and we are here. We are, as Kelly would say, my friend in Massachusetts that leads a prayer call. She says, blessed and highly favored.
Very true. Very true. Well, and you know how this goes. It's Friday, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot in real estate. That just means it's
That
another day.
that's another day to gear up because this is when you're really working because everybody else is off. That means we got to
That's
work.
right.
So,
That's right.
well,
Weekends and
amen to
holidays.
that. Yep. Yeah. So true. So true. Well, tell everybody that
Aw.
don't know you on here. Tell everybody, these dogs, a little bit about, give us a 10,000-foot overview of who Jen is.
Okay, so I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and was born and raised there, and then kind of moved all over the East Coast. Lived in New York, New Jersey, Maryland. I've always been in sales of some sort. I was a pharmaceutical rep for like 8 years. And then I moved back to Ohio with my then husband, and we had 2 kids. And I didn't work for like 4 years, moved to Tennessee for his job. And so we're right outside of Nashville. And when my daughter was 4, I decided I wanted to go get into real estate because I had done a few things and whatever. So I got my license when she was 4. And so that was like at the very end of 2016. And so I've been an agent in Nashville since. I was with a small agency first, and then I've been with Gary's team for, I think I just had my 7-year anniversary. Yeah, I came over here in 2019. So yeah, so I've got 2 kids. I've got a son that is about to be 20 and he's at Auburn. And then I've got a daughter who just turned 14 and she's in 8th grade. So
There
that's
you
really it.
go.
Oh, and I
A
have 2 fur babies too
partridge.
that, yeah. And I've got my 2 dogs.
You,
They're actually on either side of me here. So they're the fur babies never leave my side.
there's such great support. I mean, these guys right here, they just want to be part of the podcast show in some way, somehow. So there they are.
One of mine.
There you go.
So that's Goose.
So congrats to you on that real estate journey. But as we all know, the journey isn't, blessed with pillows and financial abundance and just like always things just being solved immediately. Walk us through some of those top defining moments, those figured out moments, those hellholes, those moments where you couldn't sleep, you're trying to look at your bank account, you just got told some really devastating news. Those moments that you just want to be completely shattered and broken. And as I say many times, the broken becomes before the blessing. Share with us one of those moments that you have that will make an impact on our audience today.
Um, so in 2020, okay, so 2023 was a fabulous year, as a lot of people in real estate experience. Like it was, just super busy and everything. 2024 brought just a whole lot of challenges all at one time. So my mom is 80, well, now she's almost 84, but at the time she was like 82 or whatever. So we moved her here. I've got a couple siblings, but they both live in Florida, and it just didn't make sense for her to be down there. So moved her here. She had a whole bunch of health challenges all at once, and my dad passed away like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and so it was just like all this stuff. So she needed a lot of my attention. So I was kind of focusing on her. And then in the midst in the midst of all that, my husband and I separated. And so we were going through divorce, but we hadn't filed yet. And then my son was a senior in high school. And so there was all the stuff that goes along with, kids that are, if anybody has kids that are that age, or, kind of it's just all clustered all at one time. There's all these things you have to do. And so in a 2 week period of time, so it was from July 28th until August 14th, I moved my mom into an assisted living, moved my son down to college. My daughter, the day before school started, said, "Hey, mom, I want to do like hybrid homeschool." And I was like, "What? I don't even know any, like, I'm not an educator, like, geez, oh man." And then while we were moving my son into his dorm, I got a text from my lawyer that said, "Hey, just wanted to let you know, papers have been filed." And I was like, so like, and by the way, my husband was there with us. I mean, like we knew, obviously he knew it was coming, but we
He
were
was
literally like
there
in the
with you?
same, yes.
So he's there with
So
you, knowing
in the
that he
dorm,
did file, and then you're like, because I mean, obviously being divorced, like you have to sign papers to tell the attorney, file it.
file it.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So it
And
was
at
it
that
was good
same time,
times.
wow.
In a like, whatever those dorm rooms are, like 10 by 12 foot dorm room, we're like trying to shuffle around. So that was fun. Um so yeah. So anyway, so then it was like I was just being pulled in all these different directions. And like I said, my mom just needed so much support because she just didn't transition well. And so if anybody's had parents that they have to move into assisted living or anything like that, you just know it's like sometimes they do great and sometimes they don't. And she's just didn't do well. So all this stuff happened, and then I was always so busy, but like I just couldn't be as busy with work because it was like I had humans that needed me, and people that were just pulling me in other directions. So I just couldn't keep going at the pace that I was going, and the only thing that I could remove from that equation was work, which is not the smartest thing to do, but it was like the only thing that I could like shelf for a moment. So October 31st came, and I realized that I had my last closing, and that was it. Like I had nothing in the pipeline. I had like one, but it wasn't closing until the end of February. And I had a bit of a freak out moment because now I'm a single parent, and I had
I want to ask this
no,
question here. Let me
yeah,
ask this question for everybody listening in. How many of you have had this moment? This, oh shit, I don't have anything in my pipeline. Put a 5 in the chat. They had nothing in your pipeline. I have no extra money coming in. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. My credit cards are getting close to being maxed. I have no idea where my next paycheck's going to come. I don't know how the next paycheck's going to come. How many of you are feeling that and are resonating with her on what she's sharing with you right now? And if that is the
so
case, I
scary.
want you to lean in. I want you to really
Mhm.
lean in what she did and what her growth was and what. All right, and I'm going to dive into a little bit of your mindset, but like I hear this a lot right now, a lot about financing. And I'm about to, on Tuesday, my show is going to be about my financial debacle. Guys, this was in 2024, not 2014, not 2004. This was just very recent. So for those of you who are going through this and growing through this financial debacle, a lot of life shit happened to you. I really want you to lean into what she's saying right here. Kind of stop what you're doing. Be like, okay, I'm attentive, Brock. I'm listening. Here we go. So I just want Jen, like, I get it because I remember you telling me, and I was like, Oh, damn. Because you're going into Christmas. You're going into holidays. You're going in the fourth quarter. This is the worst time period to look at your bank account and be like, I don't even know how I'm going to pay for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. And it was not a good year at all just because of all this stuff going on. Plus, the market had totally shifted. So I hadn't set aside any money for taxes. I mean, it was just a shit mess. It really was.
It's a financial
So
snowball.
it was just awful. So it's like, so I'm very fortunate though. Part of the reason why I came over to Gary's team was because we have a very, very, very strong lead generation system. And so I was like, okay, and so my brain was still kind of like decompressing from everything that had happened, but I was like, well, I can't really do much about this. So I just started grabbing leads and I was like, okay. And I was like, you know, had to kind of tell my mom, like, okay, I'm gonna be there for you, but I have to survive. And so I was,
Say that
just
again. You
but
had
you
to
guys know,
what? You have to what?
oh, what?
You said the S word.
Oh,
I had to survive. This is the
oh,
moment
survive.
all when you
Sorry.
said
I was like, I don't know, what
survive.
did I say?
When you this is the exact moment all when you transition from survive to thrive. This is it right here. This is the moment she's about to tell you. I'll write this down for those of you in it. Survive to thrive right here because you're like, enough is enough. I'm tired of dealing with the shit. I gotta take care of me. I gotta take care of Jen. I can't take care of everybody else around us. And that's why they say in the airplane, what do you put on first in the oxygen mask? Whose do you put
That's
on? Do
right.
you put on your kids? Do you put on your moms? Do you put like no, it goes right to you first. And so this is a really good moment right here, all. So go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, so I was like I said, I was just taking leads and stuff. And then, now fast forward, like anybody that's in real estate, that the sales cycle is generally about 6 months. So all the stuff that I was generating was like not doing anything for, a hot minute. So we already had this vacation planned that we go, it's like our annual trip. And so I'm on vacation with my kids and I'm literally sitting at the pool and I opened up my phone and I got the final divorce decree had been filed, so it was finalized. And anybody that's been through that whole mess knows that it's bittersweet, right? Like it's very sad, but at the same time, it's a relief once it's kind of done. And so I just kind of took a deep breath and I was like, this like I was like, I gotta shift gears here, and I was like, all right, I was like, 2024 can like kick rocks. It sucked. And I was like, but 2025, I'm like, I'm turning the boat around. I was like, I'm getting back on track. And it was like literally like it was just a light bulb moment when I was down there. And I will say the power of your mind is definitely extremely, I mean, I shouldn't, I think, yeah. So your mind is very strong, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And like that mindset, when you kind of just figure something out and you're like, this is how it has to be. Um, it's like really powerful and it just, as corny as it sounds, it is. And like people will tell you that, but when you actually have those aha moments, you're like, now I understand what people are talking about. So anyway, so I was living off of a credit card still because I couldn't do anything else. And, then I finally started getting a couple closings here and there and then started, getting things back on track. So last year ended up being really good. But it took a minute you know, before it got there. So it's a lot. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I see people struggle all the time and it's like, no matter, I mean, this is so whatever, I'm ninth, 10th year, I guess going on my 10th year or whatever. And I'm very fortunate to have a bunch of support and my team is amazing. And I think that's really strong. And I mean, I have a wonderful group of friends and everything else, but I do mentor new agents. And I feel like a lot of people think it's just easy after a certain point, but it really never gets easy. You just get more experience. So you kind of figure out how to shift things around, I guess.
Well, I always say to people when I ask them, what year you're on in real estate, and they'll tell me like, oh, I'm on my seventh year, 10th year, 12th year, fourth year, whatever it might be. And I'm like, you on your fourth year, or are you on your fourth first year? You on your seventh first year? Because we
True.
in real estate or sales, it's very hard to understand what the next step is, and it's there's not unless you do the right steps or the right process, or in this case here, what I love hearing you say, and that's what this group and this what this energy is all about is you got to have support. You got to get in the right rooms. You got to have the right mentors, the right coaches, the right people in your life that will help you move forward or catch you doing things like why are you doing that? Like what's going on with that? And you need that in your life. And the other thing I will share with you all, or something that you picked up, um, is for those taking notes. There's several of you on here. I'm not going to say your names for confidence, for confidentiality, but I appreciate you sharing with me. But you know who you are. You get to a certain point in your life, and you draw a line in the sand, and you say this: enough is enough. I'm not tolerating this anymore. I've had it up to here. For whatever reason, I now pray, God, could you make me feel like when I have it up, could you make it like down at my chin? So I don't have to go all the way up to here until I make my decision. Like, could you help me recognize the hellhole that I'm in sooner than later, please? Like, can we expedite this process? And he laughs because he's like, oh no, you have to go through this. You have to have this complete broken mess happen to you because Jen, you are going to help somebody else out. Just like you said, you're a mentor now. You're helping people and you're helping them to be like, let me just share this with you. I've been in it. That's why I still stay in production, because when somebody says, oh, you're not in real, I'm saying, you want to make a bet? I still stay in it. So that way people know, like, I get what it's like trying to balance all this nonsense out. And I can tell people when to leverage, not to leverage, why you doing that, why you showing and doing all some of this stuff that people are doing. But sometimes we do it because of greed, because we just like, I need the money. And we come from a different mindset, a different reason, a different purpose. And so as I pivot, Jen, in reference to this, as you're like, I had a great year, I had a banner year, but knowing you're still not at the pinnacle, you're still not where you want to be and where you're still growing. What is it today that you're trying to figure out? What does that look like to you?
So I, because it's almost like a hamster wheel, you know? And so like I actually had a conversation with my financial advisor and then my CPA because I was like, I feel like I'm, every year, with the exception of 2024, that was terrible. Every year I've done better than I have the year before. But being self-employed, it's like taxes and all this stuff. And I'm like, gosh, I feel like sometimes I'm literally just working to just to pay that stuff and just to like keep my head above water. And so I'm really this year, like I really want to try to figure out how I can get beyond that and start. I really want, I at one point we did have a rental and then during the divorce and everything, it was sold. So I really want to get back into real estate investing so that one of the guys on my team just calls it mailbox money. Like you get the rent checks from people and things like that. And it's like I would love to be able to use the knowledge that I have in real estate to invest in it myself. So I'm trying to figure out how to, start that process again, and really just do better than I did last year. Like that's really just my goal. And like I said, I love mentoring agents. Like Deborah asked me, she's like, "Why do you like to do it?" And I'm like, because I don't know in this business. Like the first broker that I worked for, she was amazing and she helped me learn how to do stuff. And then I came over to this team and we had an awesome we have a boot camp that's like 2.5 weeks. And so we went through all of that. And of course it was like some review for me, but you still learn new things. But if you're a brand new agent, it's like, I don't know, unless you have someone to help you. That's why I think there's such a high fallout rate in this business because there's so much like everything you learn in real estate school, like shelf that. And then here's real life, right? So if you don't have somebody to like help you do that and figure it out and help you learn all of the systems and how everything integrates together and how to, be a psychologist to your clients and like all this stuff. I don't really know how anybody makes it. So that's part of the reason why I love being a mentor, because all that confusion and uncertainty and everything else, it's like if you don't have somebody to, help you get from point A to point B, there's just no way. Like I could have never done it. So I hope that I can help other people do the same thing so that they don't fail.
I love it. I love it. It's you when you said that in the real estate, like you get done your class. So like I think this is for like pretty much a lot of life, but one specifically as being a school teacher. I remember when I went and I got my degree, and they're like, all right, you're now ready for the classroom. And you get in the classroom, and it was like a bunch of piranhas in there with the students. And it's just like it's so different. Like you can study. I always say like my sisters were book smart, but they weren't street smart. And I was just like, and my brother and I were more street smart than we were book smart. I think in life we're both enough. Of course, they see a squirrel right here. I just think that you got to get the experience. And if you can have the experience with somebody else, I call it a wingman, a wingwoman, like somebody else to come along with you to help you out on your journey, it just expedites the process for you growing and learning so many different things. And I just really, really, and giving back, the gratitude of giving back is so, so important. And I think about that so many times. And so, as we conclude, Jen, the infamous question that I ask everybody at the very end is this golden nugget. And it might not be the golden nugget, but it's the nugget that really resonated with you in your life that might help somebody else out. What's the one thing out of everything that you've been through in your entire life, especially in 2024? What's the one thing you like to leave us with today?
Um, well, I would love to have something extremely like intelligent and philosophical to say, but I mean, I just like when you don't have a safety net, you just have to keep going. Like I mean, literally, like you just like, I mean, it's like from Dory, like just keep swimming. Like you just have to keep going, right? Like you can't stop, and there's nobody else that's gonna, I mean, like I said, I have support system, but nobody's paying my bills, right? So you just have to keep going. Find people to help you and, find somebody that maybe can help, give you a little bit of an extra helping hand here and there, but you just got to keep going. So, like I said, I don't
Just
know if
keep
that's like
going.
just keep
No,
swimming.
it's a, well, before we were talking in the green room, and you're like, Brock, I don't have anything philosophical. I said, what you'll become is not philosophical, you'll be relatable because somebody on here is going through the same thing. Somebody on here is trying to figure it out. Somebody on here is trying to dust themselves off. Somebody on here is trying to pay their bills. Somebody's living off of their credit cards on here. Somebody doesn't know how they're going to get paid next month or how they're going to afford things, but you got to figure it out. You just have to keep swimming. Well, I don't know who I was talking to yesterday. I forgot who it was, but I said, the best spot to be is in the deep end because that's when you learn the best swimming strokes or a swimming stroke that you never learned before. Because if you stay in the shallow end, you're always just going to stand there and you're going to be so like you don't need any swim strokes because you're just in the shallow waters. You're never going to grow. You're never going to learn. And if you could swim in 8 feet of water, you can swim in 20 feet of water, 100 feet of water, 200 feet of water, because it doesn't matter, because if you can swim in that, it doesn't matter the depth or the problem that you have, because you have the mindset to be able to overcome and to be like, you know what, I got this. I'm going to do it. So guys, put some love in the chat, put some fives in the chat, put some heart emojis in the chat. And if she spoke to you all, we're going to put her contact information in here when we get done with all the hearts and the fives and the loves. So maybe you can reach out to her, text her, tell her what it meant to you, how it felt to you. Maybe there's a relatable moment. There's something that you resonated with her on, because just as these guests speak, they're feeling and they got to keep going. It's just because she crossed the finish, like she crossed this chapter doesn't mean there's not another problem going down. So she could grow with this as well. So Jen, I want to say thank you so much for being on here today.
Thank you so much for having me. So I hope everybody has a great weekend and this wasn't as scary as I thought.
I always tell people, I said, it sounds a little bit more nerve wracking and everything else, but you did awesome. And thank you so much for opening up and sharing and being vulnerable. Guys, we put all Jen's information in the chat right there. So make sure you get Grace, keep the chat open for a little bit so that way people can screenshot, get that contact information. Guys, I appreciate you all being on here. I want to wish you all a happy Friday. For those of you that want to hear me talk to real live strangers, I'll be on the show tomorrow, Dials for Dollars at 9 a.m. Grace, if you could put that in there or go to the Brock Zevan's Mindset Motivational Private Facebook page. You guys can get the link there. I'll be doing it at 9 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be calling strangers, which are also known as FISBOs and expireds. If you got a lead you want me to call for you, I will call them on your behalf. I don't need to know anything except their address. I don't even care if I know their name, but I will call them and have a conversation with them if you got. So I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we'll be back Monday morning, 8:15 Eastern time, or main man, Mr. Chad Free. Till then, everybody, God bless you. Be safe. Jen, thank you so much. Till then,
Bye.
see ya.